Probation, this is an application. You're on a pleading on one case?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. Court is calling 2022 CR 6781, State of Texas versus Michael Lee Kilgore. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state
Ruben Herrera for the state.
defense?
Adeline Silver for the defense.
And are you Mr. Kilgore?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor, I have.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Kilgore, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Your Honor, the state is waiving counts 1 and 2 and proceeding as to the lesser included charge of assault, bodily injury, married cohabitation, and count 3.
Any objection?
No objection.
Going to show you what's entitled court admonishments and defendants waivers and affidavit of admonitions. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand the state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, married cohabitation? That is a class A misdemeanor. The range of punishment is anywhere up to $4,000 fine and up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court doesn't follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you are giving up those rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor, he has.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Mr. Kilgore, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
According to the plea, state is proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault, bodily injury, married cohabitation under count 3. State recommends deferred adjudication. They're taking in consideration 2022 CR 7213. There's an affirmative finding of family violence, and there's to be no contact with Sherry. And did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand with an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to be designated as primary custodial parent?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that to be the entirety of your plea bargain agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
State,
Yes, Your Honor.
defense,
Yes, Your Honor.
showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
On you outside the agreement, state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years in the BIPP course. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the lesser included offense, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State any evidence?
State offers State's Exhibit 1 and all of its attachments.
No objections, Your Honor.
Showing you what's entitled wavering consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. right, and have you spoken to the complainant?
We have, Your Honor, and she has been cooperative throughout this. We have let her know of our plea offer that was tendered to defense counsel, and she was on board with that offer.
All right. Court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor, he's ready for a fresh start and in terms of if he is granted deferred adjudication, he would ask that his deferred adjudication be able to move with him in his new place that he plans on residing in, which is in another state,
And what state is this?
Indiana,
What city?
Indianapolis.
What county?
I'm not sure. Indianapolis.
Who do you know there?
No, my girl's there. She works for the NCAA. So that's the
Who is
main
your girl?
Diamond Chestnut.
No, I mean, what is her relationship? You say girl, but what does that mean?
Like she's my girlfriend.
And is she aware of your history?
Yeah, we've been together. We've known each other since high school, since freshman year. So
All right.
Yeah.
But does she know about this case?
yeah, of course.
Well, you say of course, but many times that's not the case.
Yes, Your Honor, she does know. I have been in communication with her regarding this case.
So she knows that he beat up another female
Correct, Your Honor.
and she still wants to be with him.
Correct, Your Honor.
I guess there are limited men available. Do you have any children?
Yes, I do.
What are their ages?
2-year-old, I got a 3-year-old, I got a 5-year-old, I got an 8-year-old, a 7-year-old, and I got a 6-month-old.
All right. What's the date of birth of the 6-month-old?
I can't tell you right now.
What's the date of birth of the 7-year-old?
8/28, 2015. I got a
The 8-year-old. What's the date of birth?
2014, April 25th.
5-year-old.
I don't know that one.
All right. Why would you use profanity and say the S word and then you don't know that one? What's the date of birth of the 3-year-old?
Can't tell you, I wasn't there.
What's the date of birth of the
I
2-year-old?
wasn't there. That's not my kids.
I'm sorry, what?
I said I couldn't tell you. I wasn't there. That's not their minds. I had DNA tests for them, so
So you mean those are your children?
yes, they are.
All right. When's the last time you had employment?
No, I have my own business, so
So doing what?
car dealership.
So do you have a car dealership in Indiana?
I haven't. No, I haven't mastered to the license controller in San Antonio, Texas.
So you don't have a business in Indiana?
No, my business still will be here. So
All right. And do either of these children, is their mother the complainant in this case?
no,
And I'm sorry, how old did you say you were?
I'm 27.
You're 27. You should not be dating 18-year-olds.
No,
I know 18-year-olds are legal under the law, but what is a 27-year-old doing with an 18-year-old? And when she was working at Jack in the Box, what employment did you have?
I still had a car dealership, so
And were you selling any vehicles?
yes, I was.
Who were you living with?
No, I live by myself. I have my own place.
All right. Any other questions?
Nothing based on that.
Nothing from defense, Your Honor.
All right. The court is going to sentence you to 2 years deferred adjudication. I don't know. Does he need parenting classes or need to stop being fruitful and multiplying? I don't know. But if you have children, you need to take care of your children. And taking care of your children is more than dropping money off to them for a few seconds.
No, I'm
You
advocating all my
cannot.
kids.
No, you don't. You don't even know their date of birth. Like you don't even know when to send gifts to the 2-year-old for their birthday because you don't know when they were born. You don't know when the 3-year-old was born. You don't know when the 5-year-old was born. You sort of think maybe the 7-year-old, maybe that's their date of birth, and the 6-month-old, maybe that's their date of birth, but you really don't know when their dates of birth are. Do they have the same mothers?
No.
How many mothers are we talking about?
5.
So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 children, and they all have different mothers.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And so have those children even seen each other?
Yes, they have.
Do they even recognize themselves as their siblings?
Yes.
I highly doubt that. Here's the thing, when you start having children all over creation and they don't know that these are their siblings. For all you know, they could end up dating one of their siblings. And the reason why they don't know is because their father is just having children all over the planet. All right, 2 years deferred adjudication, the BIPP course. There's going to be regular reporting to probation by Zoom or in person. There's to be regular UAs. There's to be no contact with sharing proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. Field visits. Do random one time every 3 months. Take in consideration 2022 CR 7213. Probation, is there anything else he needs? Anything else you need from the court to be successful?
No.
All right. Showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is an affirmative finding of family violence, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And the court is not allowing transfer to Indiana. All right, is there anything else from either side?
I just want to say, Your Honor.
And here, to be successful on probation, communication is key. You need to make sure you stay in contact with your probation officer. If you feel that they're not addressing that issue, you can always come before the court and the court will see what the issue is and address it. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Casablanca. Yeah, Casablanca. Matthew Avalos. Probation, there's no application. Court is calling 2023 CR 5592, State of Texas versus Matthew Avalos. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Hank Wilkins for the state, Your Honor.
Defense?
James Hunt.
Is this going to be taken in consideration?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. You want to check that off? Are you Mr. Matthew Avalos?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Avalos, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
I'm sorry, not the True Bill of Indictment. There's a lot going on in the box over there. Did you review the True Bill of Indictment with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Avalos, by indictment, you're charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1 gram to 4 grams. That's a third-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Mr. Avalos, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea? Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 3 years in the prison. State will take in consideration 2023 CR 5593. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
did you sign
And
it in both
Paige,
places? Did you review that
with
with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
According to the plea, punishment is to be assessed at 3 years in the prison. State will take in consideration 2023 CR 5593. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you the waiver of appeal paragraph. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes,
And
Your
did you
Honor.
sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
None, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Contest.
State any evidence?
Your Honor, I submit State's Exhibit 1 in the attachments.
Showing you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. There's sufficient evidence to find you guilty, and the court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
If you would like to.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
We believe the plea bargain is appropriate.
Mr. Avalos, who is Crystal Avalos to you?
She's my sister.
All right. And who is Sarah Flores?
She's my friend.
All right. And with your sister, are you older or younger?
I'm her older brother, yes.
Okay. All right. The court will find you guilty, sentence you to 3 years in prison, take in consideration 2023 CR 5593, give you credit for any time served. Showing you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right, we can go off the record. You are the older brother. You're supposed to be looking out for your sister. Looking out for your sister is not having heroin in the car. You understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And the fact that you were trying to swallow it, guess what? If it would have ruptured or something would have went wrong, then your sister would have saw you having a overdose on the street. You understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Do you have children?
No, ma'am.
All right, that's a good thing, because you need to work on yourself. If you have a drug problem or an alcohol problem, there are plenty of places that can help you for free. You understand?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
And did that center neck tattoo hurt?
Yes.
And you didn't think to stop here, just I've started, I got to finish?
Yeah.
All right, good luck to you, okay? Take care of yourself.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Martin Rios.
So it's gonna be the same issue on this one. We got the witness, we had contact a few weeks ago. We did use the same phone numbers to attempt to contact them, but give us at that time. None of them would work.
Oh, we'll put it on the record.
Just letting you know, Judge.
Okay.
Your Honor, may I address the court?
Yes, we're going to go on the record, but you can address the court. Okay. All right. The court is calling 2022 CR 10144, State of Texas versus Martin Rios. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar for the state of Texas.
Defense?
Robert Featherston and Adam Pauls.
Are you Mr. Rios? All right. State, you filed a motion to dismiss. Why are you asking for dismissal?
Judge, so we were having difficulty initially contacting the complainant. About a month and a half ago, we were able to contact him, and which time he did give us new contact information to reach him. We have attempted several times to use all the information that we've had in order to reach out to him, and so far he has not returned any of our calls, text messages, voicemails, anything.
Okay. All right. Defense?
Your Honor, if it pleases the court, we have filed a motion for speedy trial, or in the alternative, motion to dismiss for a violation of a Sixth Amendment right to speedy trial. We'd like the court to hear that motion. I think the court should also be aware that the complainant in this case is on probation.
Okay. All right, and that cause number, the court is dismissing the case. And what I can tell you, Mr. Featherston, I don't know if it's true or not, but usually in this court, when cases are dismissed, they are dismissed. The state has no intention. State, do you have any intention of bringing this case back?
At this time, no, Judge, especially based off of the fact that the witness has had contact and then not or refused to reach out to us again. We have called him at this number. This is a number that he did answer previously. It's just now he's ignoring us.
All right, what I can tell you, defense, with regards to your motions in that case, the court has filed the dismissal.
Your Honor, if it pleases the court, I believe the record should reflect that the court signed the dismissal prior to hearing my argument about raising our Sixth Amendment right to a speedy trial. We are not waiving that right to a speedy trial. If the case does raise its head again, we fully intend on pursuing that issue. Additionally, Your Honor, Mr. Rios is also charged with a family violence case. We stand ready for trial in that case at this time. And we also have a speedy trial demand on that case.
All right, thank you. And the record will reflect that the court did sign the motion for dismissal, and just have a seat and we'll come back to your other case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.